Hey guys, hello and good evening to all of you. Today it is Saturday, August 29th, 2020, and for this video today I want to share my thoughts on the 24-team playoff format that the NHL ended up using for the ongoing 2020 NHL playoffs this year. This has been on my back burner for a while. I was debating whether to do a video on this or not, and I figured, you know what, I might as well. It's an interesting topic, and considering the fact that the entire National Hockey League, alongside basically everything in society, let alone professional sports, was shut down in March due to COVID-19, what the NHL decided to do is they decided to create a playoff bracket that expanded the amount of the traditional number of teams that make the playoffs every year. So I'll get into that in a second. So normally there's 8 teams in each conference that make the playoffs. Now, because the season was abruptly ended due to COVID-19, basically what the NHL decided is, okay, we're not going to play out the rest of the season. We're just going to have a bit of a compromise that gives 24 teams a chance to participate in the playoffs in some way, shape, or form, and have the other 7 teams sent packing early. Now, if you've watched some of my older videos, at first, in a perfect world, I have said that I'd like to have seen the teams play up to 75 games until they've all had 75 regular season games, then go into the playoffs, but that never happened. And what the NHL decided to do by going down to only 24 teams instead of all 31 in the hub cities of Edmonton and Toronto respectively, I actually feel that cutting it down to 24 teams was a really good move, because by removing the San Jose Sharks, the Anaheim Ducks, the Los Angeles Kings, notice how the first 3 teams I mentioned are in the Pacific Division. They weren't having a very good year this year anyway. The Ottawa Senators, the Detroit Red Wings, and the who are the other 2 teams? I'm having a bit of a brain fart here. They were 2 other teams that were not very good. Let's just say that. Oh crap! Here, I'm just trying to think. So, okay, Florida was in the playoffs this year. What the hell am I thinking? So, yeah, you had what the NHL elected to do is they elected to just say, hey, Anaheim, San Jose, Los Angeles, Detroit, Ottawa, who are the other 2? Okay. New Jersey, and what's the last one? And Buffalo. Yeah, Buffalo. So those were the cities that got left out, and sorry for that brief interruption. I just wanted to make sure I mentioned all of those teams in the video. So, yeah, you had Los Angeles, you had Anaheim, San Jose, Detroit, Ottawa, Buffalo, and New Jersey that were all told, hey guys, just stay at home. And by removing those 7 teams out of the playoff bracket, one other really good thing is that those are 7 teams full of players and personnel that they did not have to bring into the bubbles. And personally, I don't think that's a bad thing, because the way I look at it is that the less teams that are in the bubble, the lower the risk of transmission of COVID-19, which is huge. So what the NHL did in this case is they created a bonus round called the qualifying round. And this round was where they had the 5th place team based on the seeding at the end of the NHL's season when it was abruptly canceled during COVID-19, or because of COVID. So they had the 5th place team against the 12th place team, the 6th place team against the 11th place team, the 7th versus 10th, and the 8th versus 9th. And I actually feel that it was a really fair way of doing it, and it was a good compromise considering the fact that everything just was completely brought to a grinding halt due to the coronavirus. So you had Toronto and Columbus in one qualifying round, and Columbus won that one. You had Pittsburgh and Montreal, and Montreal actually defeated Pittsburgh, which really surprised me. Then you had the Islanders in Florida, which I expected New York to defeat Florida. And you had the Carolina Hurricanes and the New York Rangers, and the Rangers were swept. Then you had the Flames and Jets, which Calgary won that series. The Oilers and Blackhawks, and Chicago won that series. Vancouver and Minnesota, Vancouver defeated the Wild. And you had the Arizona Coyotes defeat the Nashville Predators. But while those 8 series were going on, and those series were only best-of-5 series, and although the playoffs are traditionally best of 7, and truth is I do prefer the best of 7 series myself, for the qualifying round I felt that 5 games was plenty. And I like what they did with the top 4 teams in each conference. They took Boston, Tampa Bay, Washington, Philadelphia, Dallas, Las Vegas, Colorado, and St. Louis. And they put the top 4 teams in each conference into a pair of mini round robins where each team played each other once. And then the top team, and then after the end of the round robin, the team with the most points would be the first seed, and then the second seed, third seed, and fourth seed. And honestly, I think that the way the NHL did it was, I think the best way they could. I think it was the fairest way they could do this, and I'm actually really impressed with how this has actually turned out. See, the round robin was very important for the top 4 teams in each conference because it allowed those teams to be able to play some hockey and break off some of the rust that they've built since they haven't been able to play since March, So once July came around and they were able to start playing again, the fact that the top teams had a chance to play a few games themselves, while the other series played as many as 4, or in Toronto and Columbus's case, 5 games. These teams each had 3 games to play to get themselves ready for the first round of the playoffs. So that, in my opinion, was a great thing. So then after the round robin portion of the qualifying round was over for the top 4 teams in each conference, and after these 8 series were played out, you had the 4 winners of the qualifying round played or put against the 4 teams in the round robin in each conference, and those series were based on standings. So you had, say, Columbus play Tampa Bay, where Tampa Bay won. You had Montreal play Philadelphia, which the Flyers won. Then you had the Islanders and the Capitals, and the Islanders won that. Then you had Carolina and Boston defeated Carolina. Then in the first round in the West, you had Vancouver, St. Louis. Vancouver won that. Colorado, Arizona. Colorado won their series. The Vegas Golden Knights and the Chicago Blackhawks, and they won that series. And the Dallas Stars and the Calgary Flames. And ultimately, Dallas defeated the Flames. Now in the second round, you have Boston and Tampa, and you have Philadelphia and the Islanders. In the West right now in the second round, we have the Vancouver Canucks and the Vegas Golden Knights, and you also have the Colorado Avalanche and the Dallas Stars. So after the qualifying round was over, based on seeding, the 4 winning teams from the qualifying round in each conference were seeded against the 4 teams in the round robin in each conference. And then that seeding, it was seeded based on first 8, second 7, third 6th, fourth 5th. And now those winners have moved on, and now they're playing in the second round, and now the playoffs are exactly like normal. And my thoughts on this 2014 playoff format is that I think the NHL actually did a terrific job of taking a horrible situation and finding a compromise to salvage the season. And I did say this recently, and I think my weekly roundup video, or bi-weekly roundup video I did this past Sunday, 6 days ago. But I want to mention this again in this video, and truth is, I'm really glad that now there's only 8 teams left, because the way I look at it is that the less teams that are in the bubbles, the less likely COVID-19 is to strike and to get into the bubbles and start affecting players and team personnels. And that to me is huge. So I'm hoping now that the NHL can play out the rest of the second round, get to the third round, and eventually have the Stanley Cup final. Now, I know it's not going to be the Stanley Cup final that everybody wants to see, and I respect your opinion if you feel that the NHL should have just shut it all down entirely. But personally, I think this is plenty fair enough that even if the Stanley Cup champion won't be a traditional Stanley Cup champion, personally, I feel that it is so damn amazing that we have a 2020 playoffs that has been salvaged by the NHL. So I will certainly take this over nothing at all. And I got to say this as well. I mean, I think that the NHL deserves a huge tip of the hat for the fact that they've been able to create some new, or to bring back hockey. I don't know about you viewers out there, but it's been so nice to have some sports to watch. Everything's been shut down due to COVID, including television. So to see some new live sporting events, in my opinion, is huge. So a huge shout out to the NHL there. But personally, I do feel that the 2014 playoff has been a wonderful compromise considering the horrible circumstances that we as a world are in right now due to COVID-19. So I think the qualifying round was really well thought out. Even the round robin, in my opinion, was really good. I liked the idea of a shortened best-of-5 series for the qualifiers instead of a best-of-7. And I like how the first, second, third, and fourth, and Stanley Cup finals, or Stanley Cup final, I mean, are normal best-of-7 series like they always are. So those are my thoughts on this. I do feel that the NHL did a really great job here. And is it a totally perfect situation? Obviously it isn't. But you know what? It's better than nothing at all. And I think this is a plenty fair way to determine a Stanley Cup champion, especially under the ongoing circumstances that we are in right now. So I'm going to keep this video short. I hope that if you did stick around to watch it, you did enjoy it. I'd love to hear how other people felt about this playoff format that we are currently in the middle of right now. And do you agree with me? Do you think this is a really great compromise, or do you think it should have been handled differently? Or do you even think that, hey, Roxilla, I think it's ridiculous that there was a playoffs of any kind. It should all just be shut down and they shouldn't have started up again at all. If you feel that way, even though I disagree, and I'd much prefer to see what they've been doing since last month, I understand how you feel. But anyways, folks, I'm going to call it a wrap. I hope you enjoyed this video, and until my next video, folks, take care, and as always, bye for now.